TikTok is probably actually going to get banned this time. I wanted to talk about some of the very disturbing things that I noticed from today's congressional hearing with TikTok's CEO. And the reason that I think that TikTok is going to be banned is because for the first time in my entire adult life, I saw Congress, Democrats and Republicans, unanimously come together on something. I've never seen that before. Both Democrats and Republicans in Congress just went to war with TikTok this morning. And ironically, it's the app that 150 million of us have come together on to share ideas, make each other laugh. And I don't know about you, but I, for one, have had many of my long-held political ideas and beliefs be swayed by creators just like you who presented an idea from a different point of view than I'd ever considered it. It's made me a more open person, and that's what's made this app so special. And somehow, our so-called representatives couldn't be in a bigger hurry to take that away from us. Our own elected officials today signaled something to all Americans, and it came through loud and clear. Even though we elected them, they don't represent any of us. They have used us to gain power, and now they want more of it. Because if the bill to ban TikTok passes, it's more than just TikTok that we are going to be losing. We'll lose virtually all freedom of speech, expression, and communication online as the government decides what is and isn't safe and appropriate to say on the web. And I never thought I would live to see the day that the American government begs the Chinese to censor Americans. That's a direct quote from somebody that commented on my live today while I was covering these hearings. And they say that it's a national security threat, that China is collecting the data of Americans. But I seem to remember someone else who's already doing that. The NSA, the CIA, and the FBI, and they're using that data to radicalize US citizens and incite violence right here on US soil. Our government is doing that already. I heard our government representatives today talking about the Chinese as if they're some big bad wolf that should be feared. But what have the Chinese done to American citizens to actually make us afraid of them? Have they killed tens of thousands of innocent civilians via drone strike over the last 20 years? Have they removed foreign dictators from power, plunging entire regions of the world into war? Or how about this? Have they built a military with the sole purpose of backing a fiat currency that has nothing backing it besides the power of the military that enforces it globally? Have the Chinese allowed food manufacturers to fill our food with poisonous chemicals and preservatives that are known to cause cancer? No, I'm pretty sure that it's the American government that has done and allowed all of those things that I just mentioned. The Chinese have and continue to do some shady shit, but nobody clusterfucks the planet like the United States of America. And the thing that makes my blood boil is all of the carnage and death and destruction and pain that our country exports to the rest of the world is done against the will of the United States people. I don't know of a single American that is okay with all of the violence and chaos that our country has caused over the last 2 decades just to pad the pockets of the few families who have ties to the military-industrial complex and the government that enables it. Because the last I checked, there are no governments who have the track record for destroying lives like ours does. And that's the irony behind what I saw today during this congressional hearing. A bunch of representatives of a system that has blood on its hands, pointing the finger at a Chinese app for granting free speech to a population that is supposedly guaranteed that right by their constitution and by God himself. And is it any surprise to Congress and other government officials that Americans are going to use that free speech to criticize and question their government? It's literally in our DNA as a people to do that. The people that founded this country chose liberty and death over being told by a dictator how to live their lives. This is supposed to be America, the land of the free. And it sure feels like our government is trying to convince us that that's not the way it's supposed to be. It's crazy to me, but this is really uniting the American people. People left and right are starting to question their own politics. I'm seeing it in people's eyes. People saying, am I really a Republican? It sure doesn't feel like I'm being represented by the people who promised to protect my freedoms. Am I really a Democrat? It certainly doesn't feel like the people I elected are progressing the country in a direction that looks like it has a brighter future than where we came from. Collectively, we all agree we're heading into a corner that we don't want to be in, because this hearing has made it really clear who our elected officials serve. It's not us. It hasn't been for a long time, and the people in this hearing aren't qualified to ask the questions that they asked this morning. They're not even qualified to lead the country, because the American people are simple. We just want to be left alone. We want to raise our families, make sure that they're safe, happy, and healthy, and we want that same thing for everyone else that wants to come here and build that kind of life. We don't want to ban apps. We don't want to stifle free speech. We certainly don't want to fund foreign wars or invade foreign countries the moment that oil is found. We want to be left alone. We want peace. We are craving a way to learn to respect each other again, and TikTok has given us that space. And the fact that Democrat and Republican leaders are so united in wanting to ban this app tells us all we need to know about who is responsible for things continually going from bad to worse in this country, regardless of what your political views are. So if this platform is banned, wouldn't it be something if we all considered a new party, a party that actually represented us as people? Wouldn't that be something?